Frankly, I'm tired of all the cringe stuff I'm seeing on Instagram, so I've decided to compile some things into a folder and start sharing it with the rest of you. So, as you can see, we got 4 things here we're going to be playing around with today. They're all going to be in varying levels of interestingness. So let's get into this first one here. This first video is pretty self-explanatory. It says totaling the Corvette the day he bought it. Let's check it out and see what happened here. Let's take a quick look. Short, sweet, and right to the point there. Love getting stuff like that. Really relaxes me right before going to bed. Really nice way to unwind after a long day. A lot of this is just people talking about, well, you don't want to push past what you're capable of, or, take it to the track, and, getting loose over a crest, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, we have it paused right here. There's a bit of a crest there, I will give them that. But it's really, that's just really not the majority of what caused that. I'll play the video again here for you, and I just want to see if you guys can see this before I end up just calling it out here. See that right there? Drags that brake pedal into the corner, which is already something you don't really want to do. Basically, what he's doing here is he's braking as he's coming into a corner. He's putting all of that weight onto the front end of that car while turning. Really overloading that front end makes that rear end nice and loose, especially when you're at a higher speed there. And he just really didn't react to it, just kind of let the car slide out while also causing it by giving it way too much brake, and then slamming it into the wall there. 100 IQ comments coming from some of the people here in the comment section. Pretty typical of people here on Instagram. Y'all judging the fuck out of this kid, man. What no one on here has... Oh my god. What no one on here has every night a care they absolutely love and just couldn't help themselves. He probably bought it cheap off a sideshow, bro, and its rear tires were bald as fuck. Alright, well, if that is the case, definitely something that you would want to consider before going out and driving like that. That's definitely something you would want to be aware of beforehand. If that was the case, rear tire grip would definitely be a lot lower. It'd be a lot touchier on that throttle. It'd be much easier for the car to slide out like that. And I would still judge you for making a stupid mistake like that, because if your tires are bald like that and you have the ability to drive around it, great, but that is something you should 100% be aware of beforehand. This one's pretty much the only one I do want to give some credit to. This guy asks, is that oil on the road? We need answers. I pretty strongly don't believe so, but I will give him credit just for thinking outside the box here on possibilities, because pretty much where you can see it's paused here is pretty much right in front of the camera, is pretty much where he initially lost grip, and there is a bit of a dark spot there on the road. Maybe it could be some type of oil slick. I strongly doubt it, but I do think that's a fun thing to run with. Just funny stuff here in the comments of people just kind of trying to figure out what to put blame on, other than actual driving theory and understanding what causes the car to do that. Because like I said before, you can see the brake lights come on, they stay on in the corner, the back end gets loose, then he tries to jump off and save it before then getting back on the brakes again and inevitably crashing into the wall. Our next video here, this one's a classic. For those of you who haven't seen it, I'll give a brief rundown before we get into the video here. A couple guys lining up at this street light waiting for that green light to signal the start of a drag race. Whether or not they've been on this road before, really couldn't tell you, but doesn't really seem like it. Off the riff there, first things to say, absolutely horrible start. That Subaru just left the POV car in the dust here. Guy was absolutely snoozing on the start. This one is genuinely pretty awful. I do hope everyone who was in this accident came away from it okay, because it definitely was pretty violent, but pretty much street racing just off of a light, just hauling in a straight line. You got to give it credit to the POV car. He did get gapped on that start, but he did run it back there in the end. Pretty much for the worst possible outcome. He ran it back up to the Subaru just to get absolutely sideswiped by him. But pretty much as simple as just the road being bumpy there, car lost traction, the Subaru driver probably got a little bit squirrely on the wheel and just kind of lost control there, and that caused that massive wreck that was just insane to look at. This one is a tale as old as time. The classic BMW badge Instagram post. These are never ideal. I mean, really, it pretty much just boils down to what did this guy do wrong that we can make fun of. But not all the time are things the way that they seem. So we'll give it a pretty fair viewing here, and we'll see what plays out here in this one.
Oh my god.
Honestly, can't even say that I blame the BMW very much in that one. He's going for a little Sunday drive, a little spirited drive. He's not even really doing anything that's too much up for debate. He's just going for a spirited drive. He's staying in his lane, not really doing anything crazy. And then he comes up on this guy up ahead who's going extremely slowly, and he had to really check up the brakes there for him. This one definitely has a bit of an argument, but this is something I've argued for ages, which is the fact that people don't know how to drive mountain roads, and I believe it is genuinely getting worse over time. I live very close to a mountain road. The speed limit is pretty commonly about 30-ish miles an hour. Some of the places that are a bit more opened up, it's 35. Some tight corner signs will say maybe 25 miles an hour. Every single day, there are people driving under that speed limit, just going extremely slowly on the road, causing traffic. It's a total mess. And it is really ridiculous how slow people can drive in an area where they live by these roads. Now, obviously, the BMW driver isn't faultless either. If he had his eyes further up the road, he could see the car was going slowly. He kind of really checked up there, probably because at the speed he was going, he was, looking pretty much right at the nose of his hood. He didn't have his vision up ahead and was really kind of causing some issue there for himself. But all in all, kind of a ridiculous situation. I just wanted to put this in there because I do think a lot of people go too slow. You guys should all drive faster out there. Not telling you to break any road rules, just have a brain. This one right here is one that really grinds my gears. Really just don't have many good things to say about this guy right here. So first things first, starting off here, not even playing the video yet, we're already immediately noticing a cardinal sin right off the rip, which is pretty impressive. We're noticing that nice bright red, super definitely not attention grabbing and needing people to look this way. Nice bright red suede steering wheel there on this Lotus. But what's even worse than that, noticing those hands that are driving the Lotus, those big red grippers. Looking like a Formula One driver about to get out there on track. He's gloved up on the steering wheel, driving on the street. This guy put on racing gloves to go for a Sunday drive in the middle of the day, and those keen observers here may have noticed what's up ahead of him. It's another car. So before even hitting play here, we'll be able to see he's not going to be going any faster than what that car directly in front of him is going to be doing. So let's take a look at this. Let's see how this plays out. You catch that? Frankly, I'm glad we were posting this. We need to find all sources possible to track down the driver of this Toyota SUV in front of us and put him behind bars. I mean, thankfully, the race car driver of the Lotus here was even able to keep up with such reckless driving while keeping things so safely himself. You know, he's a real cardinal saint for that. He's really keeping it alive here. I just think this is really stupid. Like, out of everything else, there's something to learn. I think pretty much just all you can learn here is to just not be cringe. Look at this guy. He's in his Lotus, bright red steering wheel with matching red gloves. You can see right underneath that he's wearing shorts. He just comes across this guy where, yeah, he's crossing the double yellow on a road that's pretty much straight. And for anyone who wants to argue that, I'm going to go back and play it again right now. See that? That's a lot of road up there. That is like over 100 yards at least of straight road that you can see through, where if you're following the lane, you're jerking the wheel right and left, turning through it, which is fine if you want to. There's nothing wrong with that. But this guy just didn't feel like it, and there's nobody coming. You can very clearly see that. And for some reason, the guy with a Ronald McDonald steering wheel with his little cute matching gloves, wearing a GoPro mount in the middle of the day while he takes a Sunday drive, is posting this online, judging the guy who's just going for a drive in his Toyota. I just think it's really stupid. It's like, it desperately needs self-reflection, which I just get the feeling that this guy's most likely incapable of doing. There's this weird thing with canyon driving videos online where if there's a road that has a yellow line on it, the person who posted it is a mustard-munching criminal who's got to get put behind bars for life. And I just think it's really ridiculous because, I mean, look at some of these here. It's so ridiculous. This guy's saying, set the rule for myself, most important when enjoying the windy road. Like, dude, what rule? Driving? Like, commuting? What's the rule? Is like, are you bound by a Batman's code every time you get into your car to go to work in the morning? Like, I'm not following the seriousness here. And then this guy right below it, why is it the slowest drivers always cut the double yellow? Because you can. Who cares? Look at all that open road in front of that guy. Like, it's not that deep. Now this guy here, the saint that he is, gets us a bit more insight into the situation. Why are you driving with gloves on the street, bro? It's not that serious. Very simple question, and honestly, pretty valid point of view, because, correct, it is not that serious. To which this guy responds, because it is that serious, I'm testing out my new steering wheel. Want to see how the gloves are with an Alcantara wheel. Brother, I will tell you exactly how they are. They are grippier than your bare hands. That is what racing gloves are. You're wearing these gloves, the only time you're really going to feel any crazy difference on them is when you're really up on the wheel on track. There's nothing you're testing here on the road. You're taking yourself too seriously and you're trying to act like you're Lewis Hamilton or something. It doesn't make any sense. It's really stupid. But everyone here fully indulges in this guy's ridiculousness. Because if it was this guy just posting a video of himself driving with his racing gloves and his Alcantara steering wheel, I would call him cringe. But I wouldn't sit here and preach how stupid he is for being so cringe. But what makes it so stupid is that he's sitting here completely unaware of how stupid he looks while judging someone who's not doing anything wrong. They're just driving down a curvy stretch of road that's otherwise visually straight and just didn't feel like turning his wheel that much. There's really no problem with it. The guy probably wasn't even acting like he was doing anything crazy because he's not. But then this guy behind him in a Lotus with a GoPro wants to blast this guy online and judge him for doing something that's just not even a big deal. It's really stupid. But this was pretty much the end of it. Just wanted to play some of these just really silly Instagram videos I've been seeing. I might do some more of this, I might not, but just wanted to kind of play around and put myself back out there again. So hopefully this wasn't too terrible and you all enjoyed it. Thanks.